Tonight's game will be officiated by Alan Dickett, Christy Mack, David Rozek, and our fourth official, Daniel Fallis.
Colorado Rapids. At goaltender, Ford Parker. At defenseman, Scott DeVos. At defenseman, number 26, Ben Brigham. Also at defense, number 27, Bryce Montes. At defense, number 24, Harris Stamboldis. At midfielder, number 3, Noah Bushy. Also at midfielder, number 23, Graham Smith. At midfielder, number 14, Miguel Hyman. And at forward, number 56, Andre Shinmashiki. Also at forward, number 25, Nathan Bratton. And also at forward, number 37, Jarrett Townsend. Now on your feet for the starting lineup for your BYU Cougars. Number 24 and also captain of this team, Brendan Ottman. At defense, also a captain, Emmanuel Jr. Latte. At defense, number 12, Mitchell Scott. Also at defense, number 17, Matthew Kurtz. At midfielder, number 6, Tanner Whitworth. Also at midfielder and a captain, number 14, Taylor Finkhauser. At midfielder, number 11, from Salem Hills, Hayden Pemberton. Number 3, midfielder, Connor Fordham. Number 8, midfielder, Jacob Miles. And at forward, number 4, Josh Hunter. And also at forward, number 7, Cameron McLaughlin. BYU is coached by assistant coaches Matt Bain, Matt Studdard, Steve McElvey, and your head coach, Brendan Gillum. Hi and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to beautiful Southfield here in sunny Provo, Utah. The sun is out, the pitch is perfect. I am Luke Beeston, play-by-play, alongside my color commentary and good friend, Matthew Roberts.
Here with you tonight. It's a beautiful, beautiful day to play some soccer. We got 2 competitive teams here, and BYU is looking to really get their season on track for a strong finish here. So looking forward to seeing some good soccer.
Now, Matt, last game, BYU had a great game against the visiting team, FC Boulder. BYU won that game 3-1, 2 goals from Peyton Pemberton on the wing.
Yeah, it's I think what BYU tends to really rely on the wing play to finish, and and not just for sending balls into the middle, but to score as well. And so hopefully we can see another strong game out of Peyton tonight, and looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Spencer, we're getting a lot of feedback in our ears.
Looks like we're getting ready for the kickoff here.
BYU in all dark blue and Colorado Rapids in yellow. BYU has the kickoff here. Back to Mitchell Scott, defenseman. Now gets it back to Brendan Ottman. Ottman has control now. Sends it down middle field.
Let's see if BYU can possess early. This is going to be key to set the tone of the game, tone of the match. Who owns possession here early on?
Colorado Rapids maintain control here, defenseman. Number 24. Spencer, we're hearing everything we say, but like 5 seconds after we say it. Can you hear me, Spencer?
It's off to a little bit of a sloppy start here with both teams. Let's see if BYU can get things under control here. Especially at this point in the season, you'd expect some strong composure from the BYU players. Let's see if we can pull it under.
Peyton Pemberton sends it downfield, easily collected by the Colorado Rapids keeper. Defenseman number 27 picks it up. Scott DeVos. DeVos sends it back over to his mate, Ben Brenman. Brenman sends it over to Stambados. Harris Stambados sends it upfield, but Junior Latte, the wall there to stop it. Able to pick it up here is Fankhauser. Fankhauser to Pemberton. Pemberton on the wing. At his feet, has some control, sends it back to his defenseman, Mitchell Scott. Scott sends it over to the right side of the field. Excuse me, left side of the field. Easily stolen away.
He needs to go to that ball.
Now on the breakaway, here's Colorado Rapids. Get a shot on goal. And a great save there by the keeper, Brendan Ottman. Matt, what happened there? The defenseman just let him leak right through the middle.
What you see, Luke, here, what just happened was Fankhauser had a nice ball played to him, but he needs to go to that. He was waiting for the ball to come to him, and the defender just beat him to it. Had a really costly turnover that could have easily turned into the first goal of the game.
So the Rapids are going to get a corner kick here. Number 3, Bushy, gets the goal off the header for the Colorado Rapids early up early here, 1-0. Just an error there by the Cougs.
Well, it was an error. It was an error initially by Fankhauser with the turnover, but that was a beautifully played corner ball and a beautifully headed finish there. Just perfect right into the side corner of the net. And not much you can do if you're the keeper, Ottman, but someone should have needed to mark that guy, that offensive player, and put a body on him. He just had a free take on that header.
Matt, down early. BYU 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes here into the first half of the game. BYU down 1-0. Matt, you can't have errors like that early on in the game.
That's right, Luke. They're off to a lethargic start, and what we need to have Tanner Whitworth step up and bring some composure to the match here. Tanner's probably the best equipped to really possess the ball and distribute. So let's see if we can get things back on track.
Spencer, can you hear me? Junior Latte just sends it outbounds. It's going to be a throw in here for Colorado Rapids. Send it in by number 24. For the Rapids. Keeper has control now. Sends it down the left field. Junior Latte heads it away. Picked up by number 6, Tanner Whitworth. Whitworth trying to get control now. The Rapids have some good footwork here, Matt. They're really finding the ball at their feet here, making some great connecting on passes.
That's right, Luke. I'm really impressed with Colorado Rapids' play, just aggressive play here early. I wouldn't say that they have more talent than BYU. It's just they're a lot more aggressive. And oftentimes you see the visiting team come in with nothing to lose, and they just come out aggressive, and that's what's happening tonight. But BYU has a good chance for a counter here.
On the counter here, number 8. McLaughlin sends it upfield to Cameron McLaughlin. McLaughlin flies down the lane in the box to get a shot on goal. He does, but easily batted away by the Rapids keeper, Ford Parker.
That was a great opportunity for a counter there. Would have liked to see one more pass. We were up one man on that counter. Would have liked to see one more pass, but that was a strong shot and a good effort by the Cougars there.
Rapids have it now, number 23. Graham Smith. Smith sends it over.
Cougars are now starting to get their feet under them. They're finally starting to fall into the rhythm of the game, and they're really in an attack mindset. I think that early goal.
Fankhauser sends it in the middle there. Keeper easily scoops it up.
You know what we might see, Luke, is that early goal might have lit a fire under the Cougars. I expect them to play really aggressively and get rid of that slow start, put it behind them.
So the Rapids pick it up here, send it back to the defenseman. Number 27, Montes. Bryce Montes has control now, sends it to the right side. Some good footwork there by number 26 for the Rapids, Ben Brenman. Stolen away, though, by BYU defenseman. Now picked it up is Tanner Whitworth. Whitworth flying down the middle of the lane. Pass it to his left-hand side to Josh Hunter. Hunter has control now, looking to cross it over, sends it back to Whitworth. Whitworth, big kick in the middle, bounces off a couple Rapids defenders, but booted away. Rapids now on the counter. But a lot of BYU defensemen, but the Rapids midfielder just is flying by a couple. Ball sells out of bounds. Good D there by the wall, Mitchell Scott. Great defense there by Mitchell Scott.
Great defense. What we like to see there is the offense being run, starting with Tanner Whitworth in the back and running up through Josh Hunter. Those two are really going to be pivotal for getting our offense going.
Now, Matt, BYU's running a 3-5-2. You're going to see a lot of the time that those midfielders are going to come up and try to be strikers there in the offensive zone.
That's right, Luke. The 3-5-2 formation is really geared towards an offensive mindset and really a spread the ball mindset. And so early on in the game, what happened was there were really slow passes and players weren't going to the ball. But now the players are starting to settle into the formation and moving the ball really well from side to side.
Brendan Ottman is going to get the goal kick here. Sends it deep down the left side of the field, closest to the fans. Headed away there. Rapids easily pick it up, try to send it downfield. The offensive man for the Rapids able to keep it in. Now Mitchell Scott picks it up, sends it over to some fancy footwork. Trapped by Connor Fordham. Fordham, a new starter this game after not being a starter last game against FC Boulder. Trying to look for Pemberton. Pemberton can't find the pass there. Couldn't find it at his feet, Matt.
It was a really well played ball by Hunter. Pemberton needs to bring that in. At this level of play, that's a pretty standard foot trap. So this is key here, Luke. If you watch Colorado Rapids, they had a really aggressive start to the game, but now that they've gone up 1-0, this happens with a lot of teams. If they get an early lead, they settle into a really defensive, conservative mindset. And like I'd mentioned earlier, this may end up playing to the Cougars' advantage if we can get a quick counter here in the next few minutes, an equalizer, because now Colorado Rapids are really starting to play defensively and conservatively. Let's see if BYU can get a quick equalizer here in the next few minutes.
Fankhauser sends it over to the left-hand side. Looking for Fordham. Can't find it. Ball still's out of bounds. It's going to be a throw in here for the Rapids. Oh, BYU does end up with it. Must have went off of a Rapids player. Fordham with the throw in. Looking for Whitworth. Can't decide where he wants to go with it. Now finally sends it in to McLaughlin. McLaughlin can't handle the pass, but Whitworth steps up, but ball tipped away. The keeper now for the Rapids has it.
Like I said, I think Whitworth is going to be key to generate a lot of turnovers, and so we like to see him playing aggressive and going up on those balls. We'll see if he can snag one and steal one in one of these plays.
All right. Rapids defender has it now, number 24. Stamboldi sends it back over to his man. Midfielder now going up on the right side of the wing. Sends it downfield with a flyer. Number 21 was streaking down that right side, Matt, and Stamboldi couldn't get it to him.
Well, like I was mentioning a few minutes ago, what we're really seeing is Colorado Rapids, as they go up early with the 1-0 lead, they settle into a little bit more of a defensive mindset, and oftentimes teams settle for counters instead of working it up through the middle. And so that's what the Rapids are doing right now. The Cougars are trying to stick to their game plan of really working it up through the midfield.
Ottman with the goal kick downfield, not controlled by his team. Ball sells out of bounds, but Fordham off the foot of a Rapids defender, so Fordham with the throw in again. Fordham sends it downfield. Trying to control it is number 8, Jacob Miles. Jacob Miles
Definitely
falls over the play. Definitely a foul on that one.
Yep. Got fouled pretty hard there. This is going to be a really good opportunity because this is at a great angle where looks like Hunter's taking the shot. He can either shoot it or he can find a streaking defender for a header. I'm guessing he's going to go for a ball into the middle, trying to hit somebody streaking for a deflection into the goal.
Josh Hunter now trying to get it in the middle. You see, Matt, in the box there, the BYU players trying to shuffle around, trying to get something open there.
That's right. That's always a battle leading up to a set kick, see who can get position. A lot of it's just for fun, though. This is when the action happens.
A lot of it just to dance. Now Hunter sends it in. Ball again is going to sell out of bounds, so Hunter's going to get a second try at a corner here.
Yeah, that's a pretty common approach where they just send it in real hard, see if they can get something. And worst case scenario is a deflection.
Bankhauser sends it to the middle for a header. Can't find his man. Ball goes out of bounds. BYU, though, is going to maintain possession with another corner.
That's right. We like to see that. So BYU is getting aggressive here, sending balls into the middle, and chances are that one of these are going to end up in the net.
So number 11, Pemberton's going to go in for the corner kick here. Swings it past the post for the header. Shot just wide of the goal. Rapids defender is able to sail it out.
Beautifully played ball by Pemberton right there. I think that's some good redemption for the missed trap earlier. Sent in a really nice ball and really easily could have been a goal.
Matt, missed opportunity, though, for the Cougs there. Beautiful place ball by Pemberton. Just didn't have a man in the box to send it home.
Yeah, the key is to get at-bats, though, and the Cougars just had 2 solid at-bats at the goal, and so one of those is going to go in.
Rapids easily in possession now. Trying to get a counter here, looking for his man, number 56. Shimashiki. Latte there to stonewall it. Finds Pemberton. Pemberton, a little footwork. Push from behind. Little stoppage there for the push.
BYU definitely has the momentum in their favor. Let's see if we can take advantage here. This is going to be key in the next 10 minutes or so if we can take advantage.
If you're just joining us, we just passed. We're just starting the 14th minute in the first half. BYU has had 2 corners already as chances, just 1 shot on goal. Now the visiting team, Colorado Rapids, have just 2 shots, but they do have a goal. BYU finds himself down here in the 14th minute, down 1-0. Ball might have been off the hands there of McLaughlin, but no call, but he will get the foul.
Well, you know what, Luke, soccer is a tough sport, and this is, in many ways, the reason why it's not one of the most popular sports in America is because it's very much a slow-burning experience if you're a spectator and a fan. And what we saw here is that early on, Colorado Rapids had took advantage of 2 mistakes by BYU defenders, one on the turnover and then another on the corner kick. And those are really the only chances that the Rapids have had to attack BYU. It's been all BYU since then.
Matt, our resident expert here in soccer. Matt, you played defenseman in high school, quite the athlete, all-star. Now, Shimisky on the breakaway. What a block there by Ottman. Number 56, Shumashiki had a great look on goal. Ottman barely raises his right hand there to get to stonewall Shumashiki for the Rapids.
That's right. It's one of those things where BYU has been owning possession. We're seeing a turning of momentum here, but we got to see Tanner Whitworth really control that middle on defense. We can't have that ball going through there.
Cougs showing a little sluggish here in the first half. You know, the Rapids, that's twice. They've had beautiful opportunities on goal. Coug defense has got to step up, Matt.
Yeah, I think that the offense really has been doing their part. Defense hasn't had a lot of action on their end, but when the Rapids get onto the Cougar side of the pitch, it's been scary. There's been a lot of high-risk scenarios.
Latte has it now, sends it McLaughlin back to Pemberton. Pemberton with a little pitch up the field. Can't find his man, Josh Hunter. Hunter was flying up the lane. Cougs in dark blue, Rapids in bright yellow. The visiting team up 1-0. Sends it downfield. Nobody home. Goaltender for BYU, Brennan Ottman, just has to come out. Ball's going to hit.
Defender had to pull up there. It looked like he was offsides, and so that was why he couldn't run onto that through ball. It's a good match so far, though, Luke. We like to see both teams playing aggressively. Not too many fouls called. The refs are letting them play, but there's definitely some physicality out here.
Absolutely, Matt. So as we were saying, man, you're our local all-star out of Spanish Fork High School. A couple of guys here on the team, you know, for BYU are from that area. Peyton Pemberton out of Salem Hills. Not your time, but still kind of has those local ties.
That's right. They breed him to play baseball down in Spanish Fork, and so to be a Spanish Fork High School soccer all-star doesn't say too much. But I did do intramurals for 5 years, Luke, so we've got that. 2 intramural championships under my belt. That's got to say something, right?
And those don't come easy at BYU.
Those do not come easy. You got a bunch of former players hanging out and trying to win T-shirts. You know, Luke, you've got that background in hockey, though, being a Spanish Fork hockey all-star back in the day. And hockey and soccer really do have a lot in common. So it just makes sense that you could transition into soccer commentating.
My soccer experience comes a little bit in Latin America, where I got to play kind of like the weather it is today. It's really hot outside today, and that's kind of how it was in Mexico. Blazing hot, out in the sun, playing the game you love.
That's right.
A little football.
Yeah, I mean you go back pretty far, and I remember you coming back from your mission, and we did some pickup soccer, and you had some skills, man. You picked up some foot skills there in Mexico. Didn't play much defense. The Mexicans don't teach defense very well in soccer.
They like the offense more.
They're great on that offense. Chicharito.
Giovanni Dos Santos.
Do we see the outcome of the game today?
I didn't see the outcome. Back to action. Here's the Rapids here getting a chance again on offense. Junior Latte just hounded him, able to get the ball out of bounds. Great defensive effort there by the wall. Junior Latte. He's also one of the captains of this team. What a play there.
You know, and what you see in soccer here, in basketball, just coming off of the finals, there can be really quick turns in momentum, and the same can happen in soccer, but more often than not, it's going to be a slow build on momentum, and you see the Colorado Rapids slowly starting to take over a little bit, and the momentum swinging back in their favor. The Cougars had them on their heels for a few minutes after that first goal, but Rapids are back and on the aggressive side here, back on the attack.
Off the goal kick, Rapids defender is able to head it downfield on the counter. So far, the Rapids have been keeping it into BYU's lower third. BYU usually plays pretty well. The defensemen usually play pretty well with their back towards the goal. But tonight they're having some struggles on that high-powered octane offense of the Colorado Rapids.
Yeah, we needed that to be a better ball played out to Pemberton. That was a really blown opportunity to regain possession and even get a counter there.
Matt, speaking of the starting lineup, as we mentioned last game when BYU played FC Boulder, BYU had some great offense. They found Pemberton twice on the wing there, and he was able just to go to work for them. He had one where he nutmegged the goalie, and the other one he just popped it right over his head.
Well, what we see here with BYU is Josh Hunter pulls a lot of the defense into the middle because he's such a threat. You've got to respect Josh Hunter. So that leaves Pemberton open on the wing, just like I hate to keep making the basketball parallels here, but it's almost like having a great player streaking through the middle is going to leave a guy open on the side for a three-point corner three-point shot. That's Pemberton for you. And that's been the case today. He's been open a lot here on the wing, so they need to really try to find him. McLaughlin missed an easy outlet pass to, not easy, but that should be a standard outlet pass to Pemberton about 1 minute ago.
Now the Rapids, number 3, Bushy, has the corner, trying to get ahead of there, but batted away by Ottman. Got some air under him. What a great effort there by Ottman. McLaughlin and a Rapids midfielder kind of collide.
That's a hard foul. That's got to be a yellow card, ref.
McLaughlin is down. Feeling a little of that hit from behind. Maybe he got the wind knocked out of him. He's getting up here. Let's take a look at that replay. Yeah, push from behind, Matt.
Yeah, the problem is it's one thing to get tangled up with as a defender. I was a defender myself, and you'd get tangled up when you're trying to get to a ball. But he did not play the ball. He played the player and gave almost a two-handed shove there.
So Matt, no laundry pulled out on that one. No yellow card, just a common foul. The Rapids are playing really aggressive here. Then Mitchell Scott at number 56, Shimashiki get tied up. Both players pleading their case, getting a little physical.
You know, look, it feels like the Rapids just wanted a little bit more so far. Let's see if the Cougars can respond.
Whitworth has it now. Whitworth, recently married to also one of your former teammates, Cameron Clark. Whitworth married Adrian Clark.
There we go. He didn't marry Cameron, married his beautiful sister.
Adrian Clark, yeah. Sister of Cameron Clark, former teammate of yours, Matt.
Yeah, and Tanner, we've been able to play some soccer with Tanner the last year or so since he started dating Adrian, and he's just a really great, unselfish player. He makes the right play, but what you like to see is Tanner get a little bit mad because he's the nicest guy you've ever met, but when he gets mad, he plays mean. He can play aggressive and take over a game, and that might be what the Cougars need.
Looks like number 26 for the Rapids, Ben Bremen, gets a little tied up there. You just see Josh Hunter kind of extends his arm there, and the quad for number 26, Ben Breedman. He's a little shaken up. Little kind of aggressive effort there by Josh Hunter.
Yeah, looked like Josh kind of deliberately, as the defender was running by, he took his leg and flung it out there. And surprised that he's injured on that, but he did. A lot of crazy stuff can happen when your leg gets thrown out in a weird angle like it happened there. It's too bad that Josh.
A play of frustration, a little bit of frustration there. Josh Hunter trying to battle for the ball, kind of in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, I think he just saw the leg coming at him and he just kind of pushed it off of him and ended up throwing the defender at a weird angle. I don't think he was really trying to do any damage there.
Bremen still down, trying to work out that backside hamstring of his right leg. Still behind the goalie, trying to work it out. Now he's going to limp off the field here.
Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it looks like maybe a pulled hammy.
Whitworth soaring for the header there. Great athletic play. Pemberton trying to battle for it, gets pushed down. So far, the Rapids are just out-muscling the Cougs. Shimashiki is just dominating Pemberton on that play there.
Yeah, Shimashiki's just twice in a row has just been taking the ball from Pemberton. Pemberton's got more skill, but a lot of time the aggressor is going to win those situations.
Both teams, both battling hard so far here in the 24th minute. If you're just joining us, BYU and the visiting team, Colorado Rapids. Colorado Rapids finds himself up early 1-0. Good football club coming out of Colorado. BYU faced another one of its Colorado teams last game. BYU faced FC. Now Whitworth had a chance, from almost midfield.
2 beautiful moves by Whitworth. That's what I'm talking about. When he gets mad, the offense really can generate through Tanner, and I think he's a big part of the reason why they run the 3-5-2 is because he can get a really good attack, and he made 2 defenders miss and had a really strong look at the goal there.
Matt, you almost can call that a little on-air karma. We were just talking about Whitworth, and there he had a great shot on goal.
Yeah, I mean, it was he created for himself a lot of space there. Didn't quite get a hold of the ball. And so, but we love to see him creating those opportunities.
Now, obviously, as we were just talking about, the injured Rapids player, Ben Brigham, subbing out of the game, coming in for the Rapids, number 2, Brandon Santel looks like. Brandon, number 2, Brandon Santel. So, Briedman's out.
Oh, we got a counter here.
Josh Hunter has it now for the Cougs. And well defended there by Bryce Montes for the Rapids.
You hate to see a substitution for injury, you know, and definitely, you know, a heart goes out to Brigham on that injured play there.
So defenseman Bremen's out, and Brandon Santel comes in at defense for the Rapids. So Cougs are getting their chances early on here in the offensive lower third here in the offensive box, but they're just really not converting so far. Had a couple shots on goal and a couple corners, but just haven't been able to find the back of the net.
For the most part, the Cougars have played their game. They just had a couple breakdowns, a couple lapses. Rapids have a couple really good attackers on offense if they can get it to them, but they don't get it to their forwards very often.
Pemberton trying to hound the Rapids defender, but can't find it. Number 2 for the Rapids, flying down the lane. That's who just checked in, Brandon Santel, trying to make his presence known early. Now there's an offsides there, Matt.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see is you like to see that back line really coordinating on the offsides.
Ottman has control now, the keeper for the Cougs. Boots it down, left side of the field. Headed forward, there it was Fordham. Connor Fordham couldn't control it. Fankhauser trying to find it. Whitworth on the ball now. Finds number 8, Jacob Miles.
Beautifully played.
Fankhauser gets caught up in the lane by lots of Colorado Rapids defenders. Aggressive tackle there by McLaughlin. Another player for the Rapids goes down after flying over him, and you see the laundry come out.
Well, that's not an uncommon occurrence. McLaughlin got hit really hard about 3 minutes ago, and I think he's been just a little bit playing with frustration since then, and that was clearly just a foul of frustration. He hasn't quite been able to possess the ball like he normally does.
So Matt, after the refs kind of let them play a little bit aggressive early, you kind of see some quick cards starting to come out now late here in the first half of the game.
Yep, and you see that. The refs, a lot of time a card, when a card comes out, it's not for that specific play, but if it's out for multiple offenses. And I don't think that's the case with McLaughlin. I think that was just a hard foul, but refs do keep track of how many times a player fouls, and if it's their 5th foul, a lot of times they'll get the...
Whitworth has it now, sends it to the captain, Fankhauser. Fankhauser just lets it roll off his foot, stolen away here by the Rapids. Rapids on the counter, trying to punch it through. Number 25 has a chance now, kicks it with his left foot, and it boots over the net. Missed opportunity there for number 25, Brayton. Nathan Brayton for the Rapids of 4 just had a shot there, and he boots it over the net.
You know what I'm impressed with the Rapids is that when they do get those counters, they get numbers in the box, and that's created some really solid opportunities for the Rapids. It's all about that transition.
Crowd trying to get into it now with the cheer. Chance, BYU. Pemberton has it now with a little life. Pemberton with the tackle. Common foul. He's going to speak with Pemberton. Pemberton pleading his case, said, hey, ref, I was just going for the ball. No card pulled out in that one.
Yeah, no, he was just going for the ball there. That wouldn't have merited a card. Like I was mentioning about transition, Rapids are getting numbers. Their midfielders specifically are getting up to support their forwards. A lot of times we see Hunter, McLaughlin by themselves up here. We need to have the those 5 midfielders up to support. That's where BYU are going to get their chances.
Matt, tell me a little bit about like what advantage would you have with having those extra midfielders being able to either pinch back for D or pinch forward for offense?
Well, it's a two-edged sword, and and we've seen the sharp end of it tonight, because when you have that extra midfielder, a lot of times he can be caught up, and the defense can be outnumbered. But if BYU can get their defense back under control and can possess the ball, those 5 midfielders are going to create mismatches and a number advantage on offense if we can get the transition play in.
So then basically the key for BYU, as Matt just explained, is don't get caught, don't get beat, and take your chances when you got them.
Yep, you don't want to get caught in no man's land. Some of these midfielders have been caught not transitioning back on defense and not getting onto offense either, and that's where you can't really take advantage of the 5-man midfield.
McLaughlin has it now. Sends it back to midfield. Scott. Excuse me, that's midfielder Kurtz that had the ball. Now Mitchell Scott, defender, has it, looking for Latte. Switches his mind, sends it back to Fankhauser, the captain. Fankhauser in the middle to Whitworth. Whitworth trying to control it now. Maintains control, back to Fankhauser. Fankhauser sends it all the way back to reset to Ottman, the keeper. Ottman controls it now. Boots it down the left side of the field, looking for McLaughlin. McLaughlin, well defended there by Bryce Montes for the Rapids. McLaughlin getting really physical as he's battling for it. Rapids have come out with a lot of aggression and a lot of high-octane offense so far, and the Cougs have been kind of on their heels.
Yeah, I'd like to see what kind of a history these two teams have, because you can see it feels like there's a little bit of bad blood. I mean, both of these guys really going at each other. McLaughlin with the arms extended and 37 kicking back.
Just passing the 32nd minute here in the first half. Here's Miles trying to battle down for it. Can't get to it. Easily picked up by the Rapids. Brayton sends it downfield. Number 56 has a chance. That's Shimashika. Sends it in just wide of the right post, and he finds his man. Number 37, Jarrett Townsend with the goal. 2-0 Rapids.
And that's what I'm talking about with the 5-man midfielder formation, Luke. You've got to get back, and just right there, either one of those Rapids players could have scored there. It was a great run by Shimashika to beat, and honestly, he didn't play that ball. It was a deflection off the keeper, but ultimately, a lot of goals are scored in soccer off deflections, and BYU's midfielders have to be back. They have to outrun the Rapids and want that ball more.
BYU finds themselves down big early here in the first half of this match between Colorado Rapids and the BYU Cougars. As Matt just described, if you're just joining us, the Rapids forward, Shimashike, number 56, just set up his teammate off the goalie deflection, number 37, Jarrett Townsend, with the second goal of the match. BYU finds themselves down 2-0.
You know, Luke, BYU definitely is on par and likely a couple grades above the Colorado Rapids as far as talent goes, but the Rapids are just they're in the right place at the right time. They're being more aggressive and just straight up outplaying the Cougars right now.
Pemberton has it now. Has it defended away by number 2 for the Rapids, Brendan Santel. Cougs down early, trying to see if they can show some life here. Jacob Miles picks it up, sends it back down to Mitchell Scott. Scott has it, looking for a man upfield. Doesn't know who to give it to. BYU a little shuffled here. Latte waiting for it, not going after aggressive, but able to pick it up. Latte has control, sends it over to the left side to Matthew Kurtz.
This formation really does rely on, like I said, the midfielders transitioning between offense and defense, but also that back three needs to be more solid. Mitchell Scott's, you know, having a few slip-ups here and there and a couple missed passes.
Miles shot on goal. Goalie deflects it. Pemberton with the shot. Back-to-back saves by the keeper there. Forward Parker. Wow, showing heroics there, not letting BYU get on the board.
Two really good shots on goal, good opportunities. Hard shots. Would like to see a little bit better placement there by McLaughlin, but you can't fault a good hard strike at the goal.
Back-to-back shots on goal there for BYU. Couldn't get it in. Here's the corner. Has a shot. Scott sails it over the net. Can't quite find it.
Well, you see that with defenders. I'm one of them that they don't have both feet in their arsenal, and that needs to be a left-footed strike. He tried to strike that with the outside of his foot, and that's best. That's better to be played with the left foot there.
Matt, you got to know that if BYU keeps having chances like this, keeps getting their shots at bat, as you mentioned earlier, they got to find one in the back of the net here. Whitworth and number 3, Noah Bush. You kind of getting a little scrum there at midfield. Both players playing aggressively. Once again, BYU had numbers there in the box and just couldn't find it. Now Josh Hunter on the counter here. Hunter trying to get a shot on goal. Coach Gillum screaming for the foul. And you see the card come out. That's a red card, Matt.
That's a red card because I think it's Hunter there. He had a clear path to the goal, and it was all aggressive, trying to take him out, trying to just prevent him from moving forward. Hard foul, and could have prevented a goal there. So definitely merits a red card. Sorry, was that a yellow or a red? I missed that.
I saw red.
Looked like it was a red.
So in the case of a red card, that means the player's out.
We're gonna have in hockey terms, we're gonna have a power play.
Exactly. You see number 21, Bryce Montes, with the red card. He's got to come out immediately. So as Matt mentioned, in hockey terms, it's going to be a power play for the Cougs, where they're at an advantage of a man.
Yeah, and that's huge at this point because we've got it looks like about 7 minutes here, 7-8 minutes to capitalize and try to get back in the game, and this could prove really pivotal for the Cougars.
Josh Hunter here after the penalty. Trying to go with an aggressive play there was Whitworth. Whitworth getting pushed around there by some of the Rapids players. Kind of a scrum. Whitworth grabbing his head after getting bumped. He's going to get a yellow card after the aggressive play, trying to go for it when the keeper had it in his hands.
Yeah, it looked like, I don't know if they knocked heads, but Whitworth really went in there hard. I think he might have gotten an elbow from the keeper, and he's down.
Whitworth's laying down. Ooh. Elbow to the right, the side of the head there if he can't keep going. That's going to be a big blow to the Cougs. Whitworth kind of the wall there in the middle.
And I don't know about that being a yellow card, Luke, because Whitworth was just going. The ball was up in the air. He was going for it. And the keeper didn't have possession already. They both just kind of met in the middle. And the keeper, it looked like he might have gotten a fist.
Trainer's out in the field.
Hate to see this with Whitworth because he's really going to be critical if the Cougars are going to make a comeback. But mainly you just feel for the guy because you want him to be on the field playing.
So BYU, after being down 2-0, showing a little life here as they've had plenty of opportunities in the offensive zone to put one down. They got 3 shots on goal and 3 corners here just passing the 38th minute here now in stoppage time. Matt, what does BYU have to do to get back in this game?
Well, this is where you learn a lot about a team, and so we'll see how they respond. You look at their body language, and you can just get a feel for the energy level. And when you're down 2-0, some teams just lay down, and we'll see how they respond here. I think that the red card and the being a man up, it kind of gave them a little bit of life here and recognizing that they need to score in the next few minutes. But I think if Whitworth goes out here, and it looks like he will, that's going to really take a shot on the morale of the Cougars, because he's their moral leader, even if he's not their captain. He's one of their leaders.
Matt, Coach Gillum came out with a lot of kind of had his players back there after that red card penalty. He was screaming from the sidelines that that's a flagrant, that warrants a red card. And he, you like to see that the coach has the back of his players. He wants their well-being, and he also wants their safety. And he's not afraid to get a little fiery if needs be.
Oh, absolutely. I think Gillum's got he's not someone that's going to be yelling at the refs all game, and so he's going to take advantage. He's going to save that card, if you will, until he really needs to play. But I don't think it would have. I don't think the ref necessarily even heard him, because it was clear for everybody watching that was a really hard foul and meriting a red card.
Coach Gillum there just looking on, hoping that his Cougs can battle back from an 0-2 deficit here late in the first half. Whitworth still down. The trainer's maybe going through some concussion protocol here as he took an elbow to the right side of the head, the temple area, which is a dangerous area to sometimes receive those elbows. Trainers here trying to see if they can help him up. Fans clapping on as Whitworth can get up after the play.
That's great to see him get up and walk off by himself, Luke.
Still holding his head, however.
I don't think we'll see him again tonight. If anything, just to be safe here. They're going to be doing concussion protocol, and seeing him be down for about 3 minutes straight there. Now you get to look at his eyes. He looks like he doesn't know where he's at.
Good sportsmanship there from the keeper from the Rapids there to go over see make sure that Whitworth was okay after that collision between him and Whitworth. So good sportsmanship there from the Rapids goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was a 50-50 ball. There was no malice on either end there, so you'd like to see that sportsmanship.
Ford Parker had some big saves early on against the Cougar attacking offensive men.
Keep in mind, Luke, we just lost Tanner, and they've not decided to sub in for him yet, because they're going to, I think, wait to see if they can get him back in the game. So we're back down to 10 on 10.
So, Matt, explain to those viewers out there, is there certain times where they can sub in? They can't just do it like, hey, on the fly, I want to just sub in the game.
That's right. If they decide to sub Tanner out, then he's not going to be. I believe this is the rule. This is in most leagues. I haven't studied the rule book for this specific league, but if they sub Tanner out, he will not be able to come back into the game, and so they're going to wait and not sub anybody in as they get a counter here.
Rapids again had number 25.
They're going to wait to make sure that Tanner's not going to be able to play before they bring somebody in. He's too critical of a piece to just pull the trigger on that.
Townsend sends it down to number 25. Brayton, who had a chance earlier just a few seconds ago. Ref quick to blow the whistle there.
Looks like Whitworth has a headband on, a wrap, and he might be getting ready to play again. He looks like he's excited. I think he might have passed the protocol. He's jogging back up the sideline.
Whitworth has a bandage on his head, jogging behind the net, trying to get back in the game. Good to see that he's running around and jogging. Must have been maybe a cut on the side of his head, maybe after.
You were right about the temple. The temple's a dangerous area, so you got to be careful. We'll see what Gillum says, but he looks like he's running with confidence here, ready to go back in.
Whitworth toughs it out, coming back into the game, it looks like.
He pulls off the headband look really well. Maybe he should make that a staple.
Hey, we'll see how he can come back into the game and impact it. So far, he's had a great impact. Had a great look on goal here from about 3/4 field, just before reaching the box.
Just outside the 18.
Zone, yeah.
All right, we're back to 11 on 10. Let's see. We'll see what they do on stoppage time. I doubt they'll give us all the time that would be merited here, but I bet we have another 4 minutes or so.
Whitworth just flying down the lane, maintains control, sends it to his guy, Jacob Miles, with the shot. Deflected.
Tanner doesn't waste any time to get aggressive and get back in the game.
Matt, he took on 5 guys there.
And he can do that. Like I said earlier, when he gets mad, Tanner can take a game over, and sometimes you need that. One player just to take over.
Fordham sends it to Josh Hunter. Hunter has it now with the shot on goal, easily deflected by the defenseman as the ball was on the ground. Pemberton trying to pop it up in the air. Has some fancy footwork here, sends it to the lane. Easily defended there. Turns it over.
Needs to get a little bit of air under that ball. But we like to see the Cougars maintaining possession, obviously taking advantage of the numbers.
Almost reaching the 45th minute here in the first half. Obviously, there's going to be some stoppage time. Now 37 for the Rapids has it. Great save there by Ottman to stonewall number 37, Townsend for the Rapids, who had a great look on goal. Could have made it 3-0, but Ottman stones him.
Rapids just exposing the back three of the Cougars here.
Great pass there by Whitworth, sends it to Pemberton. Pemberton, the hero last game with 2 goals. Miles has it now. Miles has control. Looking for the shot. Miles still has it. Trying to do something with it. Can't get it to go.
Just a little bit too hard of a touch there. Really nicely played through, though. I like to see the passing there. Well, that was a nice little drop off by McLaughlin. Could have easily turned into a good opportunity.
If you're just tuning into this one, passing already the 45th minute in the first half of this match between BYU and the visiting team Colorado Rapids. BYU finds themselves down 0-2 in the first half, despite having lots of chances to tie this one up.
It's been a good half of soccer, though, Luke. Been pretty exciting, a lot of opportunities, and I totally expect the Cougars to get at least 1 goal here in the next 20 minutes of play. One of these is going to go in. They've had some great at-bats.
Pemberton has the throw-in. Looking for Hunter. Hunter trying to send it back to Pemberton, doesn't do it. Hunter pushes a Rapids midfield in the back. Possession flag goes to the Rapids.
As the sun sets here, we got the shade settling over to the Cougars side of the pitch. And it's just still a beautiful day to play soccer, Luke.
Good ball here for the Rapids, has a chance. Great defense, however, by Mitchell Scott, number 12 for BYU. Rapids keeping it cautious here, just trying to run out the stoppage time. We've already passed 2 minutes of stoppage time. Rapids just keeping it well here at the feet of each player. Crisp passes, nothing risky. Now send it up to Shamashike. Shamashike has it now. Shamashike, some fancy footwork, has some control. Now they send to the center with a shot just wide of the post.
Like I mentioned, Rapids, they're attacking forwards and midfielders are really taking advantage of some slow transition from the BYU midfielders, but also the BYU's back three has had a really hard time sticking with the forwards, especially even on dribbling through balls. They've been losing them. Let's see if BYU captain Junior Lardy can rally the troops back there and just take command.
Latte was a big impact as you. Oh, another opportunity for the Rapids and just a missed opportunity there. Should have went with the left foot and he hits it with the right off the side and it sails over the net. Fortunately for the Cougs on that one, because it would have been a quick 3-0 here in stoppage time.
Yeah, that was actually a mistake by goalkeeper Trevor Lesueur. If he's gonna get a hand on it, he needs to really bat that out of there, and he just deflected it over his right shoulder. Gave Rapids a really good look. Excuse me, Brennan Ottman. Looking at the wrong roster here. My apologies.
Ref blows his whistle. That's the first half between BYU and the visiting team Colorado Rapids. If you're just joining us, I'm Luke Beeson, play-by-play alongside my good friend and resident soccer expert, Matthew Roberts.
Luke, it's been a fun half so far. It's been good to hear you do the play-by-play. It's the first time I've been joining you, and I'm impressed, man. You know the game of soccer well for being a hockey player.
You know, half Canadian, but today I'm going to be half Latino.
There we go.
Just let my Latin blood come out so I can know how to make the calls.
Maybe
BYU down in this one, Matt.
Well,
2-0.
we're down 2-0, and it looks like we're here on the TV. Hi, welcome to everybody who's watching and staying tuned for the halftime report. And, you know, it was an interesting half of play of soccer because what we're really seeing is the risk of the 3-5-2 formation being a little exposed a little bit. Cougars are ultimately getting more opportunities and for shots on goal and more possession, but the Rapids have taken advantage of the counters and the slow transition of BYU players, and also exposed some of the back three players and gotten some really great looks and put a couple of them in the back of the net.
Matt, just a lot of aggressive play from the Rapids. They've had, you know, already 4 shots on goal, had 2 go down, and they've already found the back of the net twice tonight and almost had a third just recently before the half. BYU's got to do something on their offensive zone to find their chances again and get that ball to go.
I think if you're BYU, you go into the second half with a lot of confidence because that red card's still going to be in play, and so we're going to have a full mismatch for the next half, the next 45 minutes. And really fortunate we didn't lose Tanner Whitworth because BYU, as we all noticed, depends on Tanner to get a lot of stops on defense, but especially to generate the offense. And he can make players miss. He can do it all. He can distribute, and he can get some shots on goal.
between the BYU Cougars and the visiting team, Colorado Rapids. If you're just joining us, the Cougars find themselves down 0-2 at the start of this second half. Beautiful evening. The sun is setting. Let's see what happens in the second half, Matt.
It's great to see the Cougars on our side of the pitch here, Luke. We're right here just on ground level. It's great to see Tanner Whitworth up close in person. And without that headband, he was pulling off the look, but looks like he's got the head injury under control.
Mitchell Scott has it now. Scott maintains control, sends it to the middle. Fankhauser, the captain. Fankhauser sends it down the lane. Easily defended there by the Rapids, but McLaughlin able to pick it up. McLaughlin with some fancy footwork, swings it out wide to Hunter. Hunter trying to work with it. Hunter loses it. Great slide tackle there by the Rapids defender, easily able to kick it away. Here's Whitworth, the man we just mentioned, back from the head injury, able to tough it out. Still in the second half here.
Love to see the momentum and the aggression coming out from the Cougar locker room in this second half. They really need to get a goal quick in order to get back in this game. For those of you that missed the first half, it was a really exciting first half of play. Cougars had plenty of opportunities and shots on goal, but Rapids took advantage ultimately of the counters, resulting in a 2-0 deficit for the Cougs.
Jacob Miles has it now on the counterattack. Miles in the box. Here's a shot on goal, and it's good! Number 7, McLaughlin, it's a goal!
Beautiful goal, beautifully played through, and great finish by McLaughlin, right side of the foot, just into the corner of the goal. That's what we missed in the first half, was sometimes you don't need a hard shot, just sneak it in there to the corner.
2-1, Cougs down 1, but what a goal there by number 7, McLaughlin.
That's exactly what we needed.
Cameron McLaughlin. After last game, McLaughlin was a sub coming into this game as a starter. What an impact there by Cameron McLaughlin, number 7, the forward.
Love to see that coming straight out of the half, just to basically hit the reset button. We're still down 1 here in Provo, but really nicely done to get a quick goal out the gate.
Matt, that's twice that the on-air karma has helped a player. You said just barely, Cougs are going to need to score one quick to be able to get this one back in it. And you were exactly right. That's exactly what they did.
Well, I guess we'll keep talking good.
2 minutes into this half, and number 7, Cameron McLaughlin, gets one to go. Cougs down 1. Plenty of time to tie it up. Pemberton has it now. Pemberton out of Salem Hills, trying to cross it over. The wind catches it there, but able to control it is number 3, Connor Fordham. Fordham sends it back to the captain, Junior Latte. Back to Fankhauser. Now Jacob Miles has control, looking for the flying Pemberton on the left side. Can't find him.
Needs to find Pemberton there. Pemberton's wide open. He's going to be streaking towards the goal. Let's see if they can find him now.
Great tackle there by number 27, Bryce Montes. Missed opportunity there for Jacob Miles. He had a streaking Peyton Pemberton on the left-hand side there. Just doesn't look up to find him.
It takes great field vision to see that opposite side of the field, but a lot of times that's where the best goal-scoring opportunities are going to be. Pemberton doing the right run, calling for the ball, didn't quite get it.
Now, here's why that's a big deal. Last game, Peyton Pemberton twice had that same opportunity, and he was found twice, and he was able to put it down. The guy's a proven goal scorer. They got to get him the ball.
That's right. It's a rare wing that has that kind of a finisher instinct, and so you can't treat him just as someone you dish it out and cross it into the middle. You need to hit him on those as he's streaking into the middle and give him a chance to get a shot on goal, and he'll put him away. Luke, just like that with that goal, this game takes on a completely different complexion, and we'll see what happens here the next 10 minutes. But we'll be telling to see where the momentum lies.
Here's the throw-in from number 24, Harris Stembolis. Stembolis throws it in. BYU defenders all over it, able to bat it downfield. Josh Hunter trying to get the header. Rapids, the midfielder, had the height advantage over Hunter, easily able to control it. Number 2, Brendan Stantle.
What we're seeing early on in the second half here is the key transition of the midfielders that we talked about that was what hurt BYU, along with just mistakes by the defenders. already the midfielders are playing hard, getting back on transition, and it looks like the Cougars' conditioning might come into play here. So far, Rapids in the second half are looking slow on their feet.
There was a streaking on the right side. It was Fankhauser. Took a page out of Pemberton's book, but just couldn't quite haul it in on his feet there. But they had the look.
They had the look. And just to build off that last point, in soccer, more than in any other sport, conditioning comes into play in the second half. And so we'll see. Cougars have been through a really harsh conditioning. Here's a counter.
Townsend all by himself, taking on 5 BYU defenders. Can he maintain control? He does. What a hustle there by Jarrett Townsend, number 37 forward for the Rapids. Latte, however, great stonewall header to get it out. Fankhauser has one at his back, but is able to control it. Scott sends it up to Pemberton. Pemberton back to Fankhauser. Jacob Miles trying to control it now at his feet. Sends it back in the middle to his captain. Now back to Miles. Miles has control now at midfield.
And I think key to the second half is really going to keeping Townsend in check. He has been a big creator for the Rapids in those 2 goals. And so we'll see if the Cougars can get him under control.
McLaughlin, here's some fancy footwork here, trying to get one in the middle for a shot to go. Can't do it. It's ball stolen away. However, back to BYU for a shot. Deflected by a Rapids defender. Here's Josh Hunter. Hunter trying some footwork of his own.
One of the beautiful things about soccer, Luke, and I'm sure that those watching via YouTube can appreciate this, or they probably wouldn't be watching on a Friday night, that soccer may not have as many goals and points scored as other sports, but certainly you can feel the emotion and the building of momentum in the game. And right now it does feel like the Cougars ball game, Luke.
Absolutely, Matt. And you know what's crazy about this to me? You mentioned conditioning, how it's such a key factor in the second half. These guys are sprinting 100 yards back and forth all game long. And not to mention width of the court. Now on the counter here, the Rapids, Junior Latte from behind, able to defend it. No harm, no foul called.
Beautifully defended from behind.
Rapids players and coaches upset after Latte was able to sneak from behind and steal the ball away.
But really great technique, was not a foul. That's right there, one of the reasons why Latte's going to be a captain of the team. Latte's a captain of this team.
Pemberton trying to go for it, able to maintain control as Pemberton. Great play there. Jacob Miles looking for Hunter on the wing. Here's Hunter trying to sprint towards it, able to pick it up. Hunter sends it to the middle. No one home to receive the pass. Wasted effort there by Josh Hunter sending in the middle with nobody home.
Great job by the Rapids defender there getting back. That would have been a great ball to McLaughlin, but really good hustle by the Rapids defender right there. Number 23. Graham Smith.
Graham Smith there on the hustle defensive play, easily able to stop the cross there from Hunter. The keeper here for the Rapids sends it to his winger.
So interesting, Luke, to see that just the change of the game and of momentum here. Obviously, Cougar is still playing up one player, and that's going to make a big difference. But just the overall hustle is on the side of the Cougars right now.
Again, Latte at his back. No foul called. Or this time, yes, they are going to call it.
Looks like it's going to be a
the
corner
ball
kick.
still out of bounds.
Looks like it's going to be a
so
corner
no
kick.
foul there, actually.
Yep.
So you saw Latte again, aggressive play at the back of number 56, Shimashike for the Rapids. Good ball play there by Latte again with his hands up. Shamashike just irate, asking the ref, where is the foul? That's happened to me twice now. But Latte, just a great defender there.
Love to see that captain of the team taking over on defense. That's what we didn't see him too much in the first half, and Latte's really taken over there.
Good D there by number 2, Brandon Santel, after subbing in for the red card.
A lot of times you see that with the fresh legs. They put him on the attacking forward, Josh Hunter. But Hunter's I expect Hunter to start overpowering Santel as the game goes on.
Here's McLaughlin, already has 1 goal. Can he have 2? No, can't find a man in the lane. He had the goalie out of the goal box.
You know what's unfortunate there is McLaughlin was just waiting. He was just begging somebody to run into the box, and and the Cougars' 5 midfielders just couldn't quite transition in time to give him a valid play.
Man, the keeper was way outside the box. McLaughlin has the opportunity. Where's his man to pass to?
He's got nobody
home. He would have been better off just chipping it himself.
And they had ample time to get back.
Here's Fankhauser at the top of the box. Sends it down, wide left of the net. Nothing doing there for Fankhauser. Goal kick for the Rapids. Missed opportunity, Matt.
Missed opportunity, and once again conditioning comes into play, Luke, in the transition of the 5 midfielders, because when you're playing midfield, it's just you have to be so well conditioned because you're running back the full field on offense and defense, and these 5 guys have to be well conditioned. You can't fault them every now and then for not being on a ball, but sometimes that's what needs to happen in order to win this game.
Passing the 56th minute here in the second half. You're just joining us. BYU down 1-2. Coach Gillum looking for a win here tonight. He's going to have to come up big here in the second half if his team can get it back in it. Down 1. Early on in the second half, Cameron McLaughlin had a goal. BYU here trying to find another, but easily caught by the Rapids goaltender.
Got a little hasty there by Josh Hunter. They had some really good balls played back and forth, and he needed to just play a ball to feet and see if we get a shot on goal rather than doing a through ball there.
Ooh, dangerous play there by the keeper. Almost had a header from McLaughlin. McLaughlin's really looking for 2 tonight. He wants the second goal already.
Yeah, McLaughlin, I think he's playing with a chip on his shoulder after some of those fouls in the first half. You can see him really getting into it with some of the Rapids defenders, and he's getting payback.
And McLaughlin last game didn't start, so he's getting a lot of playing time tonight and trying to prove himself that he belongs in the starting lineup.
You know, look, McLaughlin reminds me of your style of play when you played hockey. I used to watch you guys in high school, and sometimes you'd get angry and you would just go at the defenders and win those 50-50 balls. So that's what we're seeing with McLaughlin.
Just get your chances, right?
You got to get your chances, and we're seeing the Cougars winning 50-50 balls. That's key here, the one-on-one matchups.
Ball deflected off a BYU player. Rapids are going to be able to maintain control. Ball was deflected off number 3 midfielder for BYU, Noah Bushy. Bushy also back in the lineup after not being in the starting lineup. Whitworth with a push in the back on Shimashike. Rapids are going to take the ball. Number 56 for the Rapids, Shimashike. He's been really active this whole game. Said his name a lot, not just because it's fun to say, but because...
You say it well, Luke, but yeah, he's involved in almost every offensive possession for the Rapids. Very aggressive, very athletic, and he's got the footwork, the fancy footwork.
Before the beginning of the game, I had to go over and ask for the pronunciation of that particular play for the Rapids, but I sure have gotten a lot of practice because, as you mentioned, Matt, he has been all over the field, so it's getting a little bit easier to say as the game goes on.
That's my first time trying it. It just rolls off the tongue really well.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Shimashike.
We're trying to defend well here. Can't hold them, so now on the counterattack. Here's the Rapids. Rapids here, good footwork. Find their man at their feet. Have good control. Now down the left side. Looking for Shimashike.
Ooh.
Shimashike with the kick.
Wow.
Had the opportunity.
2 opportunities, the header. Those were 2 close calls. Great job by Matthew Kurtz. Great positioning to block the header by Shimashike. But really nice play. Nicely crossed by the Rapids wing player.
And again, the on-air karma. We were talking about Shimashike, and right after we talk about him, what happened? He was right in front of the net with an opportunity to score.
Just a magnet. Well, you know, look, the Rapids players are playing well tonight and definitely deserve to be up 2-1 right now. And so, you know, as much as tempting as it is just to talk about BYU players, give them the karma, we've got to keep mentioning the Rapids every time they make these great plays.
Kurtz sends it to the middle to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to Hunter. Hunter has it now. Sends it over to the far side. Opportunity there.
Really nice run there by Pemberton. And I thought that the cross was going to be long, and I didn't realize that he must have seen Pemberton run towards that back post. And what I would have liked to see here, you know, that was a good strike. He saw the opening, he took it. A lot of times if they're in that kind of a position, they don't have the angle for the header. They'll head it back into the middle to try to get somebody streaking. But
Absolutely,
that was a really good run and attempt.
That header was just barely wide of the post. Had the opportunity. Here's Whitworth with the header. Pemberton trying to go after it. Gets tripped up. But Fankhauser able to pick it up here at midfield. Crosses it over to the right side here to Fordham.
Looks like they're playing through Fordham. They're really going strong to that right side, looking to play it in from there.
Fordham has it, trying to kick it in. Keeper able to bat it away. Fumbles it a bit, but able to pick it up. Throws it back into his player. Fankhauser on top of him, trying to defend. Miles here to pick up the slack, can't find it. Shamashiki by himself, one-on-one. Great tackle there. What a fantastic slide tackle from Mitchell Kurtz. But Shamashiki still comes up with it.
You know, love to see those defenders. I'm not surprised the defenders are all coming out aggressive, because I'm sure Brandon Gillum, Coach Gillum called them out during the half. They were playing sluggish and slow, and they've been aggressive. Two really great defensive stops by Matthew Kurtz in the last 5 minutes of play.
So good players coming through BYU with the last name of Kurtz. One of them, however, played football. I don't know if there's a relation there.
Both
Nick
tall.
Kurtz played wide receiver. Matthew Kurtz here on the pitch and a soccer field playing great at defense.
That's right. I don't think they're related, but they are both tall, athletic, and they both play for the Cougars. Love to see the defenders, Cougar defenders, elevating their level of play and aggression. Just staying in front of Shamashike has been key for Kurtz here in the second half.
The only similarity there is they both played football. One football americano and one football soccer, right?
Well played. Both playing football. You know, look, maybe we should do a 5-minute segment in just Spanish here for our
puro español.
Those listening in that speak Spanish, our bilingual listeners. Luke served mission in Mexico, an LDS mission, learned the Spanish language. I was a missionary in California.
Ottman has it now at the keeper. Sends it over to his defenseman, Mitchell Scott. Scott on the right side wing here, just behind midfield. Pemberton, now he's going to switch over to the right side. Let's see if they're going to work through Pemberton now. Kurtz sends it back to Tanner Whitworth. Here's Mitchell Scott.
Cougars are really settling into their style of play here, and this is where you're going to see the 3-5-2 shine, because the Rapids are not able to beat the Cougars to the 50-50 balls, and the possession arrow has just been for the Cougars for the majority of the half so far.
Cougs finding the ball well here at their feet. Here's Mitchell Scott. Find Miles. Here's Fordham. Fordham trying to get it. Here's Pemberton now, has it. Kind of tripped up from behind. No call, no foul.
Like to see Pemberton just play that through to Josh Hunter. Josh Hunter was open on the side.
Hunter has it now. Has a shot on goal. Good shot on goal, but well deflected there by the defender.
Really nice strike, and it's interesting you see Josh playing out here on the wing to get some space, create some space and opportunities for shots.
Here's Pemberton now with the corner. Pemberton looking on, waiting for his players to get in the box. Sends it back to Fankhauser. They're going to play it safe here. Fankhauser sends it to the middle of McLaughlin. Gets a shot and goes. Josh Hunter leaks through. It's a goal! Josh Hunter, who we just mentioned on air again, gets the goal.
Luke, beautiful play by the Cougars. Just a set play drawn up to first dish out to Fankhauser. Plays through, and a really beautiful flick on. And then Hunter with the nice nutmeg goal just sends it through the legs for the goal. Love to see that equalizer in that kind of fashion. Really beautifully played.
Watch this replay here as Matt describes it. Just creeps through the keeper's arms. You see the frustration there on the goalkeeper's face. BYU ties it up 2-2. If you just joined us in the second half, you're probably happy about it, because BYU here has been able to tie it up with the equalizer from Josh Hunter, number 4, forward for BYU. Game tied at 2-2. This is an exciting one, Matt.
It isn't exciting. You love to see this just high quality of play coming from both teams. Love to see the aggressive play, but majority clean play from both teams. And for those of you listening, watching from Colorado, welcome. The Colorado Rapids are playing well, and we've got a game back tied up, and we've got a new ball game the next 25 minutes.
Past the 65th minute, BYU ties it up. 5 shots on goal, 2 have found the back of the net. And the biggest difference, Matt, right now, look at that stat. 5 corner kicks for BYU, and that's what set up the goal just barely.
You know, and once again, I don't want to overplay this point, but conditioning, you see conditioning really coming into play here. And the Cougars with a very rigorous conditioning program, and it's starting to really show through and play to their advantage here. Cougars are really just controlling the match at this point.
Now Pemberton here on the left side wing, wide open. Gonna send it back. Nope, gonna keep it himself with some footwork. Jersey grab, but he's able to maintain control. He sees Josh Hunter wide open, trying to send it to him. Easily defended there, too late on the cross.
Yeah, Pemberton played it with it a little bit too long. Needs to get rid of it just a little bit sooner there.
BYU has the momentum here. Jacob Miles on the steal. Gets it over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin wide open on the right-hand lane. Trying to cross it center. Can he do it? Sends it back, however, to Fordham. Connor Fordham has it now with the strike. Ball off number 14 defender Miguel Jaime for the Rapids.
BYU just firing all cannons right now. I think Gillum just gave them the green light to fire from anywhere from 20 yards in, and love to see all the players getting some good strikes. A lot of those don't fall onto the, they're not on goal shots, but love to see the Cougars being aggressive here.
Now this is probably true for most guys, Matt, but when you're playing loose and you're playing, so to speak, ahead in the momentum, you just start playing better. You're playing loose, you're not worried about every little thing, and you're just letting the ball get your chances where they come.
Yeah, no, right now the Cougars have really just fallen into their natural, a more organic style of play, and the Rapids did a really good job of disrupting the Cougars' offense in the first half just through the sheer hustle and aggression. But now the Cougars have started to put together really nice sets, passing sets, and creating a lot of openings and opportunities. Here's another corner kick. Let's see if we can capitalize once again.
Bankhauser with the corner, gets it to Pemberton. Pemberton trying to send it in the middle, nothing doing. Loses the ball. Great defense there by number 37, Jarrett Townsend.
Yeah,
for the
they snuffed out the set play there. Let's see if they can get a counter here. Shamashiki.
Huge foul there from Latte. He's going to get some laundry coming out. Yellow card. Ref not afraid to hold it up in his face. Doesn't want to hear it. Says definitely a yellow card.
It's a good foul, though. It's a good foul, Luke. A hard foul, merited a yellow card, but they needed to stop that momentum. We cannot afford, Cougars can't afford to give up another counter goal here at this point in the game.
Big physical play there by Latte.
And the Cougar strategy there on the counters, that's really the bread and butter for the Rapids. And a lot of times it is best to foul. You hate to see a card meriting foul, but sometimes you just need to stop the momentum from the other team. Reminiscent of the Jazz, the Utah Jazz, our local basketball team here, their series against the Warriors, trying to stop that transition, the transition baskets, fouling on almost every transition counterattack by the Warriors. Cougars doing a little bit of that themselves here tonight.
Checking in here for the Rapids is number 15, Isaac Martinez. Coming in here for the Rapids, try to give him a little bit of momentum.
Little flick on there, not really a solid opportunity for a goal, but good effort. Here's a counter for Josh Hunter.
Josh Hunter trying to get it to go, can't do it, falls over.
It was good,
can't
no call.
Make his way.
Good no call by the ref there.
Can't make his way to split the D. Here are the Rapids here. McLaughlin, great play there from behind to steal it away. McLaughlin on the right side wing looking to cross it over.
Now that looked like more of a foul, Luke. Love to see just a high level of aggression from the Cougars tonight here in the second half. But it looked like it could have been a foul, but the refs, they've been calling a really good game, a fair game, and they've been letting the players play, which lends itself to some really fluid soccer. Just to limit the stoppage time, I think is a good call by the refs.
Tanner Whitworth has control now. Number 6 for BYU sends it back to Pemberton. Pemberton crosses it far right side, looking for Connor Fordham there. A lot of passes have gone through Connor Fordham here in the second half. Fordham, aggressive tackle there by the Rapids. 2 BYU players down, McLaughlin and Fordham, both feeling the
really hard collision there.
Banged up after that one.
Really hard collision there. You're just seeing some frustration on the part of the Colorado Rapids defenders, and at this point they're starting to vent that with putting some bodies into the Cougars.
So they're going to work through, looks like Josh Hunter here. Yep, Josh Hunter here for the free kick.
Josh is most accurate from range, and he has converted on this from this range before, and so not surprised to see him taking the kick. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him send a really hard low ball into the middle, see if someone can get a header deflection into the goal.
Lots of shuffling going on for BYU players. Hunter sends it in the middle, easily deflected by the wall for the Rapids. Oh, ball off the keeper. Ball goes loose. Pemberton trying to go for it, goes down hard after a tackle from number 2, Brendan Santo. Aggressive play there by BYU, almost got it off the keeper's hands.
Called the foul on McLaughlin. Really, really good aggressive play from Cameron tonight. Really responding well after a rough start, and can't fault him for that effort there. Probably was a foul.
Checking into the game for the Rapids, substituting into the game. Number 28, Jacob Honlin, is subbing in for number 37, Jarrett Townsend.
Fatigue sets hit in with the Rapids players here. Just an easily, should have been an easy pass, muffed and sent out of bounds, and it's going to be a costly turnover. But Cougars turn it right back over to the, looks like Miles maintains possession.
Miles sends it over to the left side wing. Here's Pemberton. Pemberton, the winger, has it now. Sends it to the far side looking for Connor Fordham, and he does. Fordham able to corral it in. Sends it to the middle, looking for the header. Nothing doing.
Beautiful cross there by Fordham. I love how he was able to just bend that in with his left.
Fordham able to steal it away. Mitchell Scott picks it up. Whitworth sends it. Little triangle passing there.
Cougars not settling with the draw tonight. Looks like they're really going for the win. Ample time for a few more goals.
In the almost in the 74th minute here in the second half, BYU trying to get it to go.
Hard collision there. Looks like both players might have gone in. Looks like Miles went in cleats up on that, but don't think it would have merited a card. You know, Luke, one of the things I was just going to mention is we gave the Cougar midfielders a little bit of a hard time in the first half for the transition, failure to be aggressive in transition at play. But right now you're seeing the midfielders for the Cougars really take over, and that's basically cut off the life to Shamashika. He hasn't gotten any balls, any counters, and BYU defenders have hardly been challenged the last 10 minutes of play. So good work to BYU midfielders.
Absolutely, Matt. Matt, as we just mentioned, is our resident soccer expert tonight, filling in as a color commentary. Done a great job tonight explaining the game for us tonight, this evening. You're going to go back and watch some great analysis, some fantastic play here. BYU has a substitution coming in.
So we just saw Chris Tobler come in for Cameron McLaughlin, and I think that my guess, Luke, is that Coach Gillum let McLaughlin know that he would be coming out of the game, and you see that pretty often during the halftime. So McLaughlin he went hard. You could tell he was not holding anything back, and it makes sense now that Tobler's coming in as a substitute.
Tobler as well, you're not losing too much of a drop-off. Tobler actually started last game and scored a goal. So kind of a reverse role. Tobler started last game, scored in the first half, didn't start this game. McLaughlin did. So it's kind of they both switched each other's role last game and this game.
Well, there's a lot of strategy that goes into substitutes, Luke, and there is a ton of value in having just a powerful substitute coming in off the bench like Tobler, who has the firepower to score and who has the legs and the wind to outrun everybody else. And so let's see if Tobler can get aggressive here.
BYU Fordham on the right side here. Josh Hunter trying to get frustration here. Just boots the ball against the wall. Upset about missing that opportunity. My color commentary this evening, Matthew Roberts, was gracious enough to fill in tonight with his expertise and analysis. Matthew has prior commitments this evening, so he will be exiting the broadcast at this moment. We thank Matt for his great analysis and coverage this evening. If you're just tuning into BYU Sports here on YouTube, BYU men's soccer equalizer came in early in the second half. It's a fantastic evening for a soccer match. Pitch is perfect, great weather, slight breeze.
Thanks for having me, Luke. Great job on the play-by-play.
Hey, Matt, thanks so much for coming tonight. We'll look forward to future games from you calling and analysis maybe here in the future.
Absolutely, and I'll keep track of what happens here the last 20 minutes of the match.
Thanks, Matt. Back to the action. Here's Brendan Ottman here from the goal kick. Ottman getting set up, looking for his players downfield here. Ottman sends it in to Kurtz. Kurtz playing a lot of defense tonight. Usually see him in the midfield, but he's actually playing defense. Kurtz sends it back to his goalkeeper, Ottman. Ottman has control now. BYU going to play pretty strategically here going the rest of the way. Here's Pemberton again, wide open on the left side. He found that twice. Last game, he had 2 goals, and he did it the same fashion, just being wide open on that left side. Here's Miles. Miles finds Fordham wide open. Here's BYU on the attack. Can they keep it up? Here's Whitworth. Whitworth in the middle. Sends it to Miles for the shot. Ball easily picked up here by the Rapids keeper, Ford Parker. Parker going to waste time here, just let everything set up in no rush. Gives it to his defenseman to set up the offense here. Both teams, as you can see, equally matched in the first half of play. The Rapids, the momentum was all shifted to their way. They had everything going for them. The ball was finding their feet easily. Had some great attacking midfielders, some great strikers. And they got 2 goals to go in. BYU was down 0-2 at the start of the second half. BYU now, in the second half, had some life, able to get the equalizer to go from Josh Hunter, the forward. Beautiful goal, just went past the goalie's arms. Score tied 2-2, just about to pass the 78th minute of play here. Mitchell Scott has it now, sends it over to Kurtz. Kurtz, the defenseman, has a lot of green grass ahead of him. Lights just turning on here in Southfield in beautiful Provo, Utah. Some great talent here in the PDL League. Isaac has it now. Isaac Martinez, the check-in. Some great footwork there from Isaac Martinez. Little scrum there at midfield between Tanner Whitworth and the Rapids player. Kind of getting into it there. Just kind of wrapped him up over his shoulder. The official's going to also talk to Whitworth on the play for the aggressive play. Let's take another look at this. Whitworth comes in with tries to get the slide tackle to go. Both players going after the ball. And you see number 14 for the Rapids kind of get into it and grab Whitworth with both arms. That's Miguel Jaime kind of getting into it with Whitworth there. Officials trying to tell him a little simmer down a bit. Rapids send it in here to the middle. Bankhauser trying to D up. Latte has it now. Latte with some frustration just boots the ball out of the stadium. Has some major frustration there. Coach Gillum calling for his captains to collect his players. Showing a lot of frustration here late. Latte called with the foul with the push from behind. Just really upset about it. Coach Gillum trying to collect his guys here. Jesse Hine, number 5 for BYU, looking to check into the game for Tanner Whitworth. Whitworth here is going to check out for BYU. And into the game, a substitution, Jesse Hine. As Matt mentioned earlier, my color commentary, fatigue sets in for both teams here. You know, usually if it's a visiting team that doesn't have elevation, they are the ones that has to do the more, has to be subbing more. But both teams, familiar to elevation, Colorado and Utah, high in elevation, so both players have to have great conditioning. Great save here, batted away by Brendan Ottman. Good control there by the Rapids defender. If there was an error there, number 10 for BYU, who just checked into the game not too long ago, Chris Toller would have been all over it. That guy is a scorer. He's not afraid to take a risk there. Miles, great defense. Foul called. Foul called on Miles. Yellow card comes out. Fisher didn't like the extra complaining curriculars out there. He's going to write it down in his pocketbook. So play is getting pretty aggressive here late in the game. A lot of fouls being called by the officials. You hear the BYU crowd. They're seeing the replay. And just are upset about the call. They saw their instant replay there on the scoreboard. Number 14 with the shot in the lane. Ball deflected. Number 28 for the Rapids picks it up. Tries across the middle. He does. Beautiful pass there. What a shot. Finds the ball in the back of the net. Players crowding over there to see their buddy to celebrate. Just a lapse in effort there by BYU defenseman. Brendan Ottman couldn't do anything but just stand there and watch the go back into the net. Some frustration setting in for Coach Gillum and the BYU Cougar soccer team as they are down late here 3-2, just past the 83rd minute. Jacob Miles has it now at midfield. Just deflating the momentum that BYU had coming into the second half. Just a demoralizing goal coming from the Rapids. Just a lot of screaming coming from the BYU coaching staff, just upset. Hunter really getting aggressive after getting hit. Some frustration clearly from Josh Hunter there. Now on the counter, here's 56, Shamashiki. Shamashiki, we've been calling his name all night. Been all over it. Trying to cut back with Junior Latte. Ball's gonna be offsides. BYU is gonna get possession here. Ottman telling his team to get downfield and get going here with just 5 minutes left in the game, not including stoppage time. Here's Tobler. Tobler sends it to Pemberton. Pemberton trying to get some life in his game. Here's the chance from the crowd chanting BYU. Gonna back it out here to Junior Latte. Latte maintains control. Latte looking for Jacob Miles. Miles does get control. Can he cross it over? No. Ball deflected out. It's going to be a corner kick for BYU. They've been pretty successful from the corner and had a lot of chances. This will be their 7th attempt from the corner. Capitalized early on one from Josh Hunter when he found it in the middle and was able to squeak one by the goalie. Here's the kick here from Tobler. Tobler a little deep, trying to look for Mitchell Scott. Scott heads it away, just wide left side of the goal. Ford Parker. Keeper for the Rapids sends it downfield, but able to be picked up by Connor Fordham. Fordham gets tripped up. No harm, no foul, however. Kurtz sends it in the middle of Fankhauser. Fankhauser has it at midfield. And the keeper for the Rapids, Ford Parker, just boots it out of the area code. Latte had one of those earlier where he just booted it out of the area code. And the keeper for the Rapids does just the same. Here you have a substitution for BYU. Miles, number 8, is going to sub out, and number 21 is going to check in for BYU. Keon Capisi. Capisi as well was the starter last game. So BYU going deep into their strategy here late in the game with just 4 minutes left in official game time. Here's Kurtz now. BYU trying to get something to go. Mitchell Scott has control. Scott sends it over to the right side to Latte. Latte's going to pull up. Latte sends it down. Easily stolen away there by the defense for the Rapids. But here's Pemberton able to corral it in. Pemberton's going to send it to the middle. Tobler sends a huge hooking shot wide right. Nothing doing there. Here is a Rapids player down. Tobler for BYU doesn't like the stoppage time. He's quite upset about it. So he says, hey, I'll help you up. Don't know if malice was intended. Just wanted to keep the game resumed. Good sportsmanship coming from forward Josh Hunter, stretching out the quad and hamstring for the Rapids player there. Tobler not happy about the stoppage there, stoppage of play, so he just picked up the Rapids player. Could have caused a little bit of a scrum there, but no harm, no foul. So we keep going. Great deflection there by Josh Hunter. Could have been a risky play by the Rapids. Had 2 BYU players streaking down the offensive zone. Pemberton pushing the back, but able to maintain control. Here's Fordham. Connor Fordham has it now. Finds Tobler. Tobler with some footwork. You can see he has a little life in him after what just happened there. Fankhauser. Sends it to Peyton Pemberton. Pemberton crossing it over. Easily booted away there by the defenders for the Rapids. Rapids right now are kind of just playing back on their heels, kind of just playing, you know, we're going to play it safe here, up 1 here late. Just 1 minute in official regulation time after BYU made a great comeback to equalize it, find themselves down 3-2. Scott. The Fankhauser. Fankhauser trying to set up the offense here late. Just 30 ticks left to go in official time. Pemberton is down, just gets absolutely nailed. Pemberton gets up and then turns back in frustration. Pemberton's going to get a kick inside the box here after the foul was called. So this might be BYU's last opportunity to put one in the net. Pemberton's going to check out. Nope. Keeping the game. So Josh Hunter here is going to take the free kick just inside the Rapids box. So you see that big wall of the Rapids. Rapids players building that wall. You see number 21 for BYU, Keon Capisi, and they're kind of mixing it up, trying to get his spot. Not pleased. Capisi and that guy is still just battling. Not a great opportunity there from Josh Hunter. Ball sails over the net. Didn't even give a chance there for the Cougs. So here late, just in stoppage time, past already the 90th minute. Maybe a couple minutes, if any, here in stoppage time. Ball here, goes to the right side, sails out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in for BYU. Rapids coach telling to organize. BYU players not happy about the stoppage because they really want to have as much time as possible, try to get back in this game. Tobler mixing it up with his Rapids players. You see the frustration starting to set in between Rapids and BYU. Capisi has it now. Young Capisi. Tobler shoulders a Rapids player. The game's starting to get a little out of control here after the 90-minute stoppage time. Tobler in frustration. Check out the replay here. Yep, Tobler from behind with the right shoulder. Hard foul there. Player goes down. Officials here decide getting together whether or not any laundry or if the book is going to come out. Rapids head coach calling for a red card on this. BYU players very frustrated about the stoppage time here. Undoubtedly trying to get back in this game. Yellow card pulled out by the official. BYU trainers attending to the injured player. Trying to make sure he's all right. So the game story of this one has been BYU was down early, 0-2. Came into the second half with some momentum, able to equalize it, tie it up at 2-2. Now they find themselves here down late, 3-2 in stoppage time. Not many more opportunities left for the Cougs to get back into this unless they can organize themselves and find a good shot on goal. Rapids get the ball in now, resume and play. Push from behind, no foul called. Throw in here from Kurtz, 2 balls on the field. Here's Pemberton. Pemberton finds his man, Fordham. Latte's going to gain control. Here's Fordham late, sends it to the middle, looking for someone with the header. No one was home for the header. Josh Hunter has control, shot on goal, and he gets it! Game tied at 3-3. Josh Hunter with the second goal of the game, the equalizer. Josh Hunter. Crowd is going absolutely irate after the equalizer. Josh Hunter sends a rocket goal from his left foot. Beautiful shot, finds its way in the back of the net. Second goal tonight from Josh Hunter, the hero in stoppage time. Another injured player down for the Rapids. Game tied here at 3-3. What a shot, however, from Josh Hunter for the equalizer here late in the second half. Rapids coaches are not happy, furious after the no call. Looks like the injured player down is number 2, Brandon Santel. He subbed in early. Take another look at that goal. Josh Hunter says, I gotta bury this one. Couple minutes left in stoppage time at max. Rapids want to just put this one away. They have the chance here. That's the end of the match. And it ends in a tie, a draw. Both teams score 3 goals. BYU, though, however, was down 2-3 with just a few seconds left to go in the game, and they're able to get the equalizer. Josh Hunter, number 10, the hero in this one. What a game, what a match. If you just joined us, you got to rewind this one back because it was a fantastic one. 6 goals scored in total, not something you always see in soccer. 7 shots on goal for BYU, 7 corners. On the opposite end, the visiting team Rapids had 5 shots on goal and 3 corners. A lot of banged up players in this one for BYU and the Rapids. You saw a couple injuries for Tanner Whitworth. However, he was able to come back. Fortunately for BYU, he added a lot of presence to the game. Also, the Rapids players had some physical play, had some injured players. Frustrating one for the Colorado Rapids after they were up with just a few seconds left in the game, and BYU was able to get the tie. Thank you so much for joining us here in Southfield. It's been my pleasure to join you with the call. Luke Beeston here. I was alongside earlier my color commentary, Matt Roberts, who had previous appointments that he had to be at, but a fantastic analysis game coming from him, resident soccer expert. Always join us here on live YouTube stream. Go back and watch it. A great way to enjoy some quality soccer in this professional league PDL.